This one might take a while here. This is a meaty one. Sens get sensed yet again. Like, I don't even know what to make of some of this shit. It's just
where do we even where do we start? Like,
all right, let's just start with first, because this is the only part where it's like a little funny to me. This would not have mattered. This would not have resurfaced. There'd be no penalties being doled out if it wasn't for Vegas wanting to be like, no, this isn't our fault, and you're going to admit it.
Okay. Can you lay out the actual scenario? Because again, as I said before, I have trouble with like just thinking.
Okay. Yeah. Let's
the
break
second
it down.
I saw this today, I was like, "Are you?" Yeah.
So for you and for anyone else that is wondering what the hell is going on here, because this is actually in no way tied to the Shane Pinto nonsense.
Already forgot about that because of this news dump today.
So Ottawa Senators traded Evgenii Dadanov to the Vegas Golden Knights. I don't know how long ago that trade happened. And
this was 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. And it was distant history, like whatever, no big deal. And this past year, as everyone remembers, because it was quite funny, Vegas Golden Knights decide they're going to trade Evgenii Dadanov to the Anaheim Ducks, to which he says, nope, they're on my no trade list. And they're like, ha, that's funny. You don't have a no trade list. And he's like, the fuck I don't. Turns out when the trade was made from Ottawa to Vegas, we don't know all the details yet, but essentially that wasn't disclosed. So whether they blatantly lied about it or didn't say anything, but maybe the burden of proof is on Ottawa to communicate that. I mean, fuck, everyone has a cap-friendly access, so, you know, probably not too hard to figure out that a guy's got a no trade. But regardless, the blame is now being shifted to the Ottawa Senators for lack of communication around that. And again, it really stems from Vegas just wanting their names cleared in the absolute joke that was the attempted trade. By the way, shout out Evgenii Dadanov, because he torched for a couple games there before ultimately getting traded. But so now we land to today, the news breaking that the Ottawa Senators are being, they're forfeiting their first round pick, I believe, for next year.
Have they decided?
I don't know. I didn't see. I would think, I mean, it's either going to be 24 or 25. We'll see. But it is being forfeited. And immediately thereafter, we saw the firing of Pierre Dorion.
Resigning. The resignation.
It said that he was fired.
It did at first.
Okay. So he did resign.
Adds another wrinkle.
Which is hilarious, though, that it's like, hey, you're fired. He's like, wait, can I quit instead? And they're like, we already said you're fired. He's like, I don't care. I want to quit. They're like, sure. You quit. So whatever. So a couple of things to break down from this. And the key is kind of going through the history of the NHL and how consistent they are on penalizing teams. Let's go back to the New Jersey Devils. They had that 17-year contract for Ilya Kovalchuk, which is still just hilarious to go back and think about. And they were supposed to forfeit a more substantial pick. I think it was like they were supposed to lose their first, and there were supposed to be more things that happened. And ultimately, it went from losing their first entirely to being the last team to pick in the first round. Something of that ilk, because there was new ownership and they had no like foresight into what happened, right? Like they had no control. Then we got the Arizona Coyotes. They bring prospects in and start grooming them and testing them, whatever. It was a whole weird idea where the youngest GM ever, John Chaika, just thought, hey, no one's going to care about this, right? No one pays attention to the Coyotes, so it's no big deal. They end up forfeiting their first round pick. Now we go to this past year, where there's been a lot of, we'll just say there's been a lot of news around the Chicago Blackhawks. Oh, I don't know, give or take a decade plus of covering up sexual assault on one of their players, further going on to write a recommendation letter for the assaulter to go work with kids. And they get Connor Bedard. And that's within this past year. And so now we've got the Senators with a new owner stepping in, being told that he has to forfeit his first, that he's got a 41-game suspension for his player. And these are over miscommunication in a trade and betting on sports. And Chicago, I guess what the NHL is trying to say is that sexual assault's not a big deal.
They're going to give Chicago another first round pick for it.
No. They get Ottawa's pick.
Yeah, they get the pick because they're great. So
that was a lot of words. You go ahead and take whatever part of that you want to jump in on.
So I'll start with the Dadanov one. That one was absolutely insane, obviously. Well, it all is. But right. I remember at the time, again, this is over 2 years ago. This is over 2 fucking years ago. And I remember at that time, like, actually diving into why it was such a big deal. Technically, letter of the law says it is on the team trading the player to disclose the no trade list. That being said, that no trade list, very easy to sort out by talking to the agent before you trade the player. You can't just not look into it, because also the player that you're bringing in theory, you know that they have some kind of trade protection if they have that in their contract. The fact that you could even bring a player in without factoring that in that's a whole other fucking
like
problem,
why are you not looking into that when the trade is made? Yeah, I don't know. It's wild. But now, to your point though, on you have to talk to the agent and like figure that out. Not if you're the Vegas Golden Knights. They literally just trade people and they find out on the internet that they were traded. So this is a different beast we're talking about.
They actually just like offer first round picks in every single trade that they make. And they're like, I don't even know if we have one left. Let's just see if
they don't care about any penalties that might come down. Because like what, you're going to take away our 5th round pick. Okay.
But the fact that now the Ottawa Senators get docked for this, and the fact that it's a first round fucking pick, and the fact that it is 2 years after the whole thing happened, and the year after the Vegas Golden Knights won the fucking Stanley Cup, this league is a fucking joke. It's the best league to watch. I love hockey, obviously. It's the only sport really that I watch religiously. It is the dumbest league in the world. There are a bunch of stupid assholes that run this fucking league and make decisions. I swear to God. How the fuck are you going to come back 2 years later? Like, part of me says they got a phone call from Vegas. Like, oh yeah, we forgot about that. You know what? You're right. Fuck them. And hang up. Hey, Ottawa, you can pick which year you want to go up, but you're going to lose one. I think it was either 24 or 25. I can't remember if there was also an option for 26. But the fact that they also now get to choose which fucking first round pick they get to lose, it's a joke. Like, this league makes no fucking sense, dude. There's so many other problems for them to deal with. Like, no, we can't. Well, you're right. We can't let this go. We were letting it go for about 1.5 years, 2 years plus. But you know what? Now that you bring it up again, we did forget about that.
We didn't care about it at all. But
these dudes.
Now we do. Hang on.
Insane to me. But the quotes from the owner
Here it is.
of
Yep,
Ottawa
I got it up
are
right now.
absolutely incredible. Like I just went through them. I was dying. I was just like,
so good.
Incredible.
First off, I love him. Like he's definitely my favorite owner now that he just like comes into the league and has no problem speaking his mind. But per Frank Saravalli, Sens owner Michael Andlauer says NHL did not advise him of either investigation, botched Dadanov no trade clause, or Pinto sports betting incident before he closed on purchase. In quotes here from Andlauer, maybe they didn't want to disrupt it to make sure the seller got the best price possible.
Absolutely, 100% accurate. By the way.
Yes, it is. But it's great to hear him say it. Like,
yeah.
no one speaks out like that.
No,
this is awesome.
Yeah, I need him doing like post-game press conferences instead of coaches, instead of like. Oh, yeah. I want that guy. Every game.
Brady Tkachuk is up at the table. He's like, hang on, guys. Sorry, I'm getting tagged out here by Mike. Mike,
what just signed a $64 million deal? Yeah, that's cute. Nice. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, go sit down. I got this. The players probably love it. They're probably like, yeah, go ahead.
Like this, our guy.
Unless he loses. But the other one that I loved, the other quote from him that I loved, I gotta find it. God damn it.
Just so
it's gone. No. It's I got it. Here it is. Here you go. Okay. First 30 days, or Michael Andlauer says, first 30 days of Sens ownership has exceeded his expectations by all aspects. The last 10 days, not so much. Quote, not been as much fun for me. It brought me back to earth. 3-game losing streak, 3 injuries, and 2 disturbing phone calls from the NHL. Just the fact that he called them disturbing. It's like, that's a good choice of words right there. But it's such a fucking... Yeah, they get to choose 24, 25, or 26. They lose a first-round pick. This is the dumbest league in the world. It's the dumbest run league in the fucking world. The fact that they landed on, well, we have to take their first-round pick, I guess. We have no other choice to 2 years later. It's unbelievable how they just love getting in their own way and making themselves look so dumb. Like, I feel like they should say, you know what, you all, like Vegas, for being morons and kind of like now being dicks about this 2 years later, you also lose a first round pick. Not that you care. It's not like you use it anyways. Like, I hate it. It's a joke. And what a goddamn week for the Ottawa Senators. Where should we go after this? Which fucking crises do we go to next? This Pinto situation? Because I thought that was going to be. I thought the Pinto thing was going to be the biggest joke of the season before this. I actually think this is worse for me, just in terms of like
way really. Worse. Especially the Pinto thing has evolved, and I don't think we have all the details, but it sounds like, from what like insiders like Friedman are saying, it sounds like Pinto is letting other people bet through his account.
Yep.
Which is just fucking dumb.
Not on hockey, and from a state where it's legal to bet, which I know that is, you're not allowed to do that. The fact that it's the 41 games thing, and like,
no, I get it.
It's just the fact that it was 41 games that you're making this kid lose half a fucking season.
I mean, in fairness, the games that he's not playing right now are counting towards it. So
it's like,
if anything, this is a godsend for the Senators because they actually removed the December deadline for him to have a contract done, which again is the league moving goalposts. Like, well, since he can't play, like, we're okay with you guys signing him later if you want. Like, what?
Yeah. So at this point, like, I feel like if you're another team,
they won't announce the signing until after that's all played out, and then they've got time to figure out whether they want to do that or potentially trade him. But I don't know if teams are going to want him now. I mean, maybe the talent is enough that they'll go for it, but then you've got, are we in the playoffs or not? Like, how do we, maybe someone goes on IR and it's easy that they can just add him then. Like, I don't know. It's funny.
And Carter Hart's hurt. But like a few other things that make this absolutely insane to me is like, so the fact, like you said, they're taking away the deadline for him they're counting the games that he's missing already because he's not signed. Like they've counted these to the 41. And the fact that they, like you said, they took away the deadline for him to sign. If I'm another team, I'm sitting here saying like, okay, that was a ridiculous like penalty in the first place for this fucking kid. Second of all, so now clearly the rules aren't real. There are actually no rules in hockey. We'll just like kind of like oh, well, we kind of already made this decision, so let's just, like you said, move the goalposts a little bit here because we just realized what we said was really fucking stupid in the first place. We didn't think about the other things coming into play here. Okay, we'll just change the rules.
Well, now they're going to get all the backlash for this too, with like everything that's happening for that draft pick. And the league's going to come back and be like, well, okay, we're making you give up one of those firsts, but then we're going to give you an additional first in one of the other years.
But you get a compensatory second. How about that? Deal, guys? Deal? But the other thing with the Pinto, the league that just entered the betting sphere and like is just hammering advertising on like every betting site on the planet. Like they're absolutely like they dove in fully on sports gambling, and now they're gonna give this fucking Shane Pinto a suspension.
You don't think that their betting partners are fucking livid? Like literally, the NHL making a grand spectacle about how betting is bad.
Yeah, but they're also technically doing it like by the letter of the rules. So like, yeah,
I get it, but they've like made something that could have been brushed under the rug and dealt with a lot like more simply and quietly. Like now this is was at the forefront for everyone until the Dadanov stuff, but it's, I don't know. I can't imagine that's great to your betting partners.
Yeah. And meanwhile, the picture that gets like used for the article is Shane Pinto, who on the helmet has the betting, was the fucking like the logo of the, was it Bet 365? I don't even remember which site it was, but on the helmet, it's got, he probably used that site too, or his buddy did. It's unbelievable. This fucking league is such a joke, dude. Like, whatever. They're exhausting. What a fucking league. What a fucking league. And now you got Steve Staios as GM of the Ottawa Senators. So,
is that official?
Yeah,
I missed that.
Named Steve Staios.
Damn. Yeah. And granted, I'm actually very happy for the Senators because like it could have gone real bad. The fact that immediately Peter Chiarelli was listed as one of the contenders for taking over that GM vacancy is just, how does he continue being a part of these conversations? Has anyone seen his track record at all?
Yeah. He's an interesting like case study. It's just like,
I mean, let's just go to the last decision he ever made as a GM.
Yeah. Well, also, I knew I think it wasn't a surprise that, well, I guess he resigned, but I know it's been out there for a while that he was unlikely to finish the season as GM of the Ottawa Senators. Anyways, my buddy Martian, Lalin's Martian, had it a while ago, actually. He also had something with the Pinto situation too. But it's just like, I don't understand the NHL. Maybe I should stop trying to, and that's the key to finding happiness. It's just to like stop trying to like figure out what's going on and understanding any decision that gets made. But then, yeah, so that's what I'll do. I'll just stop trying. But
I gotta say
the Ottawa Senators had a nice start to the season, and then like the universe was like, No, this doesn't seem right. No. Everyone's gonna get hurt again.
SENS'D.
Pinto suspension for half the year. Resignation of the GM. And just to make sure that there's something shitty in the horizon, we're gonna take a first round pick actually too.
Great one. So our buddy Carlo, who covers Vegas, he always crushes the meme game, and immediately after the Shane Pinto stuff started getting released, he posts the video of Mark Stone doing the slot machine out at center ice, and immediately just plays Mark Stone has actually been banned from NHL participation.
I give up.